Hello everyone. In this video, we'll try to understand Docker volumes or Docker storages. Before we talk about Docker volumes, let's try to understand the stateful and stateless application. When you talk about stateless applications, for example, you are calling some application where you are saying you need some user information. You call that application, hey application, give me some user information. So once that particular application served your request, what happened as soon as it served your request, it will forget about you. I mean, whatever you requested, it will forget. Right? It's something like a fire and forget. Typically, when you talk about any REST APIs, it's stateless applications, which means once it served your request, it will forget that particular state. Right? So when you talk about microservices, all those stuff, they are stateless. What is stateful? The best example is a database. When you ask your database, hey, store this particular information, it has to store it. It's not like, you told your database to store some information, after that it forgot. No. So stateful means something like that stores your information until you delete it, like database, file systems. When you talk about stateless, so you ask for something, it will give you something, or whatever you asked, it will give you back. And whatever you asked, it will forget, like fire and forget. There's a stateless. Typically, all the APIs are stateless. Now, why are we talking about this now? Because Docker is a stateless application, right? So you deployed some API, and for example, you are getting some file. You need to store a file. How do you store a file in a Docker? Because as I said, it's a stateless. So let's say if you store an image in your Docker container, what happens? Let's say if you restart it, then whatever you stored inside that container, the data will be lost. Now, what's the solution for that? And that's where we got Docker volumes. So, Docker volumes or Docker storage will help us to make your Docker application persistence, right? Which means like stateful, right? So, why are we waiting for? Let's jump into an example and see how, I mean, like how it looks, right? When you shut down the container, what happens, all this stuff. So we'll take a simple example. If you see, there's a simple Python file. So here, what I'm taking is I'm just taking the folder name, right? And also I'm taking a file as my request. If you see my the postman request, so it's a multi-part form data multi-part, right? So where I'm attaching an image here, right? And I'm giving a name as a files. Okay. So again, I'm saying it's not a JSON or XML, it's a form data where you are sending an image in a multi-part. Okay. At the same time, I'm also sending some form fields. Okay. So yeah, if you see this type, this is nothing but your subfolder. And my main folder is here, somewhere here. Yeah. Images is my main folder. So inside an image, whatever the name I pass here, that will be my subfolder. Let's say if I say Teja, that would be my subfolder, right? Now, okay. Now let me run this container, right? So Docker run. I already built the image, right? And I'm exposing my port to 9999, and this is my Docker image which I already built. Okay, let me run this. Yeah, it's running. I'm using Gunicorn here. I mean, in the previous video, I already shown how we can deploy the scalable REST API in Docker. Please watch it. Now, yes. Now, before that, let me do a SSH into our Docker Linux system, right? And if you are seeing, we are using Python Buster, which means it may use a Debian operating system, right? If you don't understand what is Debian, it's more of Ubuntu flavor, you can say like that. Did you see? If you notice here, I don't have any folder name which is with images, right? Like as I said, images will be my root folder, right? I don't have any here, right? Now let me run this particular postman. It is actually not postman, right? So now let me run this. Now it's a success. I'm just responding. I'm sending a response back as my folder name. If you see here, is written. Yeah. the uploaded folder. Now let me say ls. Did you see images? We don't have this folder before, right? Now let me go to images, right? ls, SSL Teja, and if you say ls, did you see dt1.jpg? And this is the image which I sent to my REST API, and it's stored in my Docker container. Now what we'll do is, let me shut down this container. Okay. Yes. Now let me run this again. Okay. I ran again. It's successfully ran. Now let's do SSH into the Docker. Let me pull here. Now let's say ls. Did you see images folder here? No, we already created in our previous instance, right? Now when you restart your Docker container, you don't see that folder. Because as I said, Docker is stateless. It don't store any information. It will store your information until you restart your container. Once you restart your container, that's it. The information is gone. Technically stateless, right? Now, how do you make it stateful? And that's where we have Docker volumes. We'll take a simple example, right? Not simple example, the same example. We'll make it very simple in explanation. Now, we know what is -p, right? Which is called port mapping. The port inside your container and you are mapping to the external port. So let's say 9999 is your port, which is running inside your container. I'm mapping it to 9999. You can give any name, any number. And in my case, I'm giving the same port name, which is because it is available in my system, right? And what I wanted to show, I think yes, yeah, 9999 is the port which I'm trying to expose. Okay, now coming to the point. Yeah, similarly, for volumes, right, we have one more option called V. Did you see? P is for port mapping. V is for mounting, right? When you talk about mounting, so if one there are two different operating systems running, and if you want to have a common storage layer, then you will mount, right? So in our case, what I am doing is, this is my host. The files, the folder structure in my host operating system. Host operating system means where exactly my Docker container is running, right? In my case, my Docker container is running in Windows 7, in Windows 10, in my local machine, right? I'm saying, boss, okay, let me remove this fellow. Whatever the data comes in images folder, make sure you keep the data in this particular folder, so that whenever I restart my container, what happens is, whatever the data is there in this particular folder which I highlighted, that will be automatically mounted in the images folder, which means whenever you restart it, you will still see the same data again, right? Let me jump into this folder. Test. Already have two files. Let me delete these files. Now I'm running my container. Now I hope you understand what is V. Maybe it's zoom, right? V means like it's volumes, where you are mounting your local, which is your host operating system storage, to Docker storage. Let me run this. Oh no, I didn't run. Yeah, now it's what happened. Maybe let me try to put slash. No. Yeah. What? Yeah. So finally got the issue. It must be, we have to provide the slash. We have to provide the absolute path. Now let's run this. I think it should run. Yeah, it's running. Now, okay, do we have anything in this folder? No. Let me, where is my, yeah. Let me run this now. Yeah, it's success. Can you see now? We have a file here, right? Now, maybe I'll give a different folder, Teja 3. Let me send this application. Let me come back. Did you see we have Teja 3? Now we'll try to maybe upload some other file, maybe this. Did you see? In Teja 3 we get two files. Now let's log into the Docker SSH. Let me do ls, and of course you'll have it for sure. Did you see we have two folders here? Now here is the important thing. Before, our Docker container is stateless, which means when we shut down or restart our container, whatever the data we store in the container is lost, right? And now using this volume command, right, this particular one which I just highlighted, we are trying to make our container stateful, right? Now let me stop this container. Okay, it stopped now. Now let me run this again. Okay, now here is the magic. Now let's go here, say ls. Did you see images folder here? Right. Did you see the folders here? Yes, of course. Right. Now, technically speaking, we made our Docker container stateful. So that whatever I stored previously, it will remember using this, the volumes concept. Now, for example, in Teja 3, maybe let me try to copy and paste the same file again. Now we have three files, right? Now, if I go back and say ls, did you see? It's so instant, right? I'm not sure if I can remove this file dt1.jpg. Did you see? It automatically deleted here. So now these two folders are in synchronized, right? Whatever you do here in your host operating system, this mounting folder, it will reflect in your container, and whatever you do in the container, that will reflect in the host folder as well, right? And this is the power of Docker volumes, where using the Docker volumes, as I said, we are making our Docker container stateful, right? So this volume concepts are usually used in case, if you want to store some files, right, all the stuff. This is one use case, and the second use case would be majorly used in case if you are using database in our Docker containers. As I told you, containers are stateless. If you're storing, if you're using Postgres, MySQL, any database in Docker container, in case if you restart your container, all your data is gone, right? So now what we'll do is, in whatever the place, technically speaking, when you talk about database, again, all your data will be stored in well organized file format, file systems, right? And if you're able to mount that particular file, I mean the folder, from your Docker container to host operating system, then yes, so whenever you restart your container, the data will be loaded from the host operating system, right? So hope you enjoyed this video, and also you understand the power of Docker volumes, right? So yeah, that's it for this video. Hope you enjoyed it, and please don't forget to subscribe to my channel. Thank you.